Oh, hello! A pleasant morning to everyone and to you, Professor Gongora. Why I am making this video it is because we are going to talk about the novel which is entitled the Ilustrado by Miguel Syjuco. But before anything else, I would like to introduce myself. I am Maria Evangeline Rimando, and this is my short insight and at the same time my analysis of the novel. So, because of the author's style of writings, at first we cannot understand what is the main point of the story. And the more you read the novel in every chapter, the more you will wonder why it happened, why this scene happened. We create some questions throughout the story, every chapter, because we can understand what's the real situation. And in real situation, there are so many scenes that it might lead you to think hardly. Why is it there a story within a story? And or shall we say the excerpts, and you can totally understand if you don't read the whole story itself or the novel itself. So the novel Ilustrado, it filled with complexities, layering fiction with fiction and non-fiction. Cristo is a character in a novel within the novel by a writer named Crispin Salvador, and he may be Salvador's grandfather's alter ego. In turn, Salvador, the principal figure in Ilustrado, may be its 33 years old author's alter ego. In a daring literary performance, Syjuco waves the invented with the factual, putting himself directly into his own fiction, at times under his own name and elsewhere as our protagonist. So now I want you to read this novel because I want you to explore something that you can read on it. Because to tell you honestly, even if at first you will not fully understand, but later on while you are reading, you will realize that there are so many happenings in this book that we can relate into the reality. That is why I can say that this book are so catchy by means that it gets a lot of awards, and that's true. You can search it on the internet of how wonderful this book that wins a lot of awards. Every chapter gives us more understanding why the two main characters did those things in the flow of the story. From the title itself, Ilustrado means enlightenment. Enlightenment is the state of being enlightened, capitalized, a philosophical movement of the 18th century marked by a rejection of traditional social, religious, and political ideas and an emphasis on rationalism. So basically, it is more about politics. It even mentioned martial law and many more. There's a lot of scenarios in this novel. Let's take for example in the chapter 1. The main character are just sitting on the chair inside the plane. But he made so long story. There are so many story that happens in that scene. The fact that he's only sitting in his chair on a plane, it literally confused me, but so much for that. Even if it confused me sometimes when I read this novel, there are lots of scenes that touches my heart, even made me cry. That scene is when Crispin's mother had her very last day, and that time Crispin wants to go inside the room where his mother lay down wearing a hospital gown, and his father did not allow him to go inside. Maybe his mother suggested it to his father to not let him see her waiting for his death. And that time it probably makes Crispin insane, but not totally. So what I want to imply after reading this book is that this novel not only teaches us to be a seeker of the truth, but also it teaches us on how to be more open and observable on what happened inside our country. Remember that the more we open our eyes, the more we see the truth behind it. Before I will end this video, I just want to share this quotable statement that we can read also inside the novel. Actually, I choose 5 quotable statements, but I will stick in this one that state that sometimes courage is really just cowardice. Sometimes the bravest thing is to let go. By Miguel, Syjuco. There are times that we need to let go rather than staying with them, and be courageous to hold them tightly. Because sometimes we are aware that when the time passes by, we become an hindrance to them in a way that they can take it anymore or any longer. So we choose to let them go rather than be with them. If we choose to hold them, there will be a possibility that we can hurt them more and continually. And if that time comes, we cannot take any chances from them because they're hurting too much. So what are you waiting for, guys? I want you to read this novel because it is a lot of fun. It may be make you confused, happy, laugh, cry, but I assure you, you will enjoy it. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.